Thank you, DJ Kara. This was fun. Early in the morning. I mean, this really charged me up. I was wondering, this is 7 a.m. I'm in Seattle. As you can see, I'm presenting at the comfort of my bedroom, turned into like a virtual office for the last 1 year. Can't believe. And I trust, everyone else is doing well in this very strange times that we have been dealing with. Also been a year since we wanted to meet in person. That was our original PrestoCon that was scheduled for March, I believe right around this time, 24th or 26th. And, here we are a year later. But I'm really glad, that, these virtual platforms have given us an opportunity to connect with you and stay in touch with, all our community members in ways that we had not even thought before. So, I hope, starting with saying that, I hope everyone is doing well. And, we'll be kicking off our PrestoCon Day event in a couple of minutes. I see Girish and Dipti have both joined. And I would like to really welcome you both again early morning, to come and share your thoughts about what's happening in the space of Presto. Deepti has been the chair of the outreach committee for the Presto, and it's been a pleasure working with her for over a year, organizing these events and staying connected with the community. And Girish has been doing an amazing job, as the chair of the foundation. And again, it's been a pleasure working with you, Girish, as well. So, since I sit on both these committees, I get to see and work with them very often. It's a pleasure. Um, it's interesting. I was asking them about, some fun facts to share, and both of them love traveling. In fact, make it three of us. And again, I can't imagine, how difficult it would have been, because, that's one thing we just can't do right now. But virtually, let's hope by changing our backgrounds and, going to different places, we can vicariously kind of enjoy the travel. And yesterday I had another event I was presenting at, and somebody asked me, "Is that a surfboard behind you?" And no, it's actually not a surfboard. It's a green screen whose you can see the top broke off, so I don't have it behind me. So you'll have to deal with a little bit of my messy space here today till I, get that all fixed and reconnected. So before we start, just a quick note also, thanks to our sponsors, Intel, Starburst, Ahana, Upsolver, and Uber for helping us, make this event from an idea into a reality, get to talk to all of you. And also a few housekeeping items before I hand over the mic to Girish and Deepti. On your left, which is where I'm pointing to, hopefully, yeah, there should be a session tab. If you are running into any issue, you click on that, and there is a help desk. You can just click on that, and there are folks who can help you out pretty quickly. So anything, you can see the schedule, how the talks are happening, what the next session is. You can go in and go out at any time. Also, a quick reminder, please make sure you have seen the event code of conduct and abide by the rules. And we want to welcome, all the attendees. Everybody should be felt included. If there's any issue, please don't hesitate to escalate through the help desk, or just message any of us, and we'll take care of that pretty promptly. Something new that has been also added this time, we do have the new text translation feature now available in the Hopin platform. And I saw Rachel had just put a link in the session chat. So, if you feel, you need some kind of translation, live translation, feel free to click that and use that. I believe it also does captioning. So, you can even get it converted to English and just kind of watch the captions going along. So without taking any more time, Girish and Dipti, pretty much over to you. And I'll be around most of the day, hopping in and out of the Hopin platform, and be in touch with all of you. Thank you, and welcome once again to PrestoCon Day.
Thanks a lot for that really nice introduction, Amit, and welcome everyone to our PrestoCon Day. We have a very exciting lineup of talks, events, and as you just heard, an amazing DJ who's going to keep us on schedule throughout the day. So before we get started into our amazing talks, I just wanted to give a quick overview of the Presto. This is probably new to some of you, so I just wanted to share some thoughts about the journey of Presto, where we are today, and give an overview of the Presto community, the foundation, and how you can participate.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Presto Day, and we're very excited to be here. We have a great day planned for everyone, and looking forward to it. All right, go ahead, Girish.
Awesome. So here is a trajectory that typical open source projects see over the course of their lifetime. We can roughly put their trajectory in four phases. So the first phase is usually when need is identified, right? So there is basically a set of current technologies that you use to solve one set of problems, and then you have a new set of problems, a new need arises, and then you have to figure out some workarounds with your current technologies, which is when people start working on some new technologies to solve those specific problems. And then next phase is when there is some widespread adoption because the new technology is better, it's easier to use, and so there is a positive feedback loop there around development and adoption. And then in the next phase, it becomes more and more adopted widely, and now you run into the familiar problems of performance, scale, reliability, and you start deploying these in mission critical use cases. And then finally, in phase three, there is mass platform adoption. This is where the platform is typically adopted with lots of companies, and you see an emergence of a complete solution. So tracing this kind of a journey with Presto, um, we had so next slide please. Yeah, so around roughly 2012 2013, the technology of the day was batch systems like Hive, right? So these are systems where you could take a massive amount of data, do some processing, and then get some results. But these are batch systems, one stage at a time. So what this means is that your jobs will take a long time to go end to end. So these are great if you wanted to do lots of number crunching. But the new set of use cases were around internet or analytics, where people really wanted the results coming up quickly, which is where engines like Presto came along, right? So these brought a new paradigm, which is basically streaming. So you have multiple stages running in a pipeline mode at once, and the queries can run and execute very fast. So that was the innovation in Presto. So you could run these smaller queries very fast. So then in phase one, we had grassroots adoption because a lot of people saw that Presto was very easy to use. And then there was a huge amount of feature development there. And people started latching onto Presto. And then we pretty quickly got into stage two, where companies like Facebook, Uber, Twitter, and so forth started adopting Presto, putting out huge deployments. And we saw users adoption in the hundreds to even thousands now. And so over the last couple of years, we've basically said that it is actually at a point where we can build a huge community around it, and that's what we've been doing for the past 2 years. So as of this point, Presto is pretty much a mainstream platform, and it's being picked up as an engine of choice in most companies. So we can also map this to what your journey of adopting Presto as an user, either individually or within your company, can be. So in phase zero, you'll probably download Presto on your laptop. You'll try it out. You'll connect it to your local data store or maybe your Hive store. This should be fairly easy. We have very good documentation on how to do this. And then in the next phase, you could deploy Presto in either your on-prem or your cloud setting. You could connect it up. You could set up the configurations. And then you'll start getting some initial value as you onboard a few initial use cases, right? And then pretty soon we expect it to be very popular, word of mouth, people seeing a much better tool. And then you'll start having to deploy this in a mission critical level. So this is where you'll have to build a team. And now it probably ends up becoming too popular at this point, and you have to start thinking of how you can use Presto for pretty much all your use cases. So we hope that you'll see that trajectory. And hopefully some of the talks today and the panels will share some ideas and perspectives on how you can take the journey through your organization. So the Presto Foundation is the home of the Presto community. We have a nonprofit structure hosted under the Linux Foundation. Our mission is to enable and support broad re-platforming for data platform teams, with picking Presto as the engine of choice for analytics. So to support this mission, we have a fairly standard structure under the Linux Foundation. We have a governing board which governs the entire community. So The governing board is largely responsible for things like making sure that the foundation is set up correctly, the structure is good, all the technical work is going well, the outreach work is going well. But it is largely in a supervisory role, right? You can think of it as the board of directors for a company. As part of the governing board, we have an outreach committee, which is currently headed by Dipti. They are responsible for things like organizing the PrestoCon events, meetups, outreach, membership, and all these activities. Then we have the technical steering committee, which is the equivalent of, let's say, the Apache PMC. So this is where the technical contributors to the Presto project meet on a regular basis. So these meetings are open to public. You don't have to be a member of the TSC to participate. These are available on our Presto community website. So you can go attend it. The minutes are available. You can put items on the agenda. You can talk about whatever you want. And this is where this is usually presided over by the committers. And this is a great place to get involved at a technical level. And then finally, we have the end user community. So we have Slack channels, email groups, and a whole list of other fora where you can engage with the Presto community at large, work with the contributors, committers, and the other companies and stakeholders involved in the community. So at a high level, this is the way the structure is set up. So the Presto Foundation is operating on 3 guiding principles. So the first and most important is that we are an open, neutral, and united Presto community. So what this means is anyone is invited and welcome to participate in all our meetings, our discussions. So we don't have any roadblocks. Anyone is free to come in. Please bring your ideas, your use cases. We are happy to take you in and contributions. We also have an open, transparent technical leadership and direction. So all our technical and governing structures are based on standard Linux policies and principles. So everyone is invited to participate. We have standard ways of picking committers, picking people on the board, and so forth. So all these things are very open and transparent, and we invite everyone to participate. And finally, no individual company or company is greater than the project or its community. So we expect everyone to come in and participate as an equal. We would love to hear your thoughts, but you should also be open and willing to engage equally with other people. So these are the 3 governing principles of our foundation. And lastly, I wanted to quickly cover this new program that we are exploring this year. So this is the Presto Conformance program. So this is a program where we want to set out a way for our community to figure out whether they are using either a Presto deployment or a Presto related product that conforms to what we think is the standard Presto or the compliant Presto at this point in time, right? So why are we doing this now? The project is moving pretty fast. There are lots of Presto DB releases, lots of new vendors, cloud support for Presto, and so forth. And there has been an increasing need from developers and users to find an easy way to figure out if the version of the Presto they're using or if a supporting product they're using in the Presto ecosystem conforms with Presto. So the conformance will primarily be around things like feature compatibility, API compatibility, connector compatibility. So your deployments, if it's conformant with this, you can have some guarantees that it will work in the current Presto deployment or version that you're using. The key bottom line with this program is we want you to be confident, knowing that you are basically using a version that's very close to what we are running at scale at big companies like Facebook, Uber, and Twitter. So to give you an example of a conformance program, so the next slide. Yeah, so the Kubernetes foundation under Linux, the CNCF Foundation has a very standard conformance program where you have this badge called Certified by Kubernetes, and that gives you some guarantees about the products that you're using and how well they would interact with Kubernetes. So we're using this as a template, so hopefully you'll hear more about this later in the year. So with that, I'll hand off to Deepthi for community-related updates.
Great, thank you, Girish. Yeah, we're very excited about the year ahead for Presto. A lot of things have been resolved. A lot of confusion has been resolved earlier in this year, and we are forging ahead with Presto, and welcome everyone to participate in the community. We've seen a continuous growth in all our channels, Slack, social media, and we look forward to the year and engaging with users, contributors, over time committers, and get to that strategic value that Girish was talking about. Welcome again to PrestoCon Day. We were thinking back on, as Amit was saying earlier, exactly 6 months ago, we had PrestoCon, which was the first and biggest Presto event. In fact, fun fact is, it was originally planned for this day, March 24th, 2020. And so here we are a year later with PrestoCon Day, a new program that we've started. We'll have hopefully a lot more PrestoCon days globally over time through various regions. 6 months ago when we started off with PrestoCon, and I've been involved with the foundation from really the early days. We had 6 members, and it's been a great journey to see it really growing into an industry consortium. Today we have 10 members, and that's growing. Happy to have the new members join in, participate. You'll hear from many of them today. And we hope that one day this becomes like a CNCF with hundreds of members, and we see that that journey for Presto over the next 10 years. Various programs are part of the outreach committee. We do the PrestoCon days. We have many other events. One that I'd like to particularly call out is our meetups. We have had really great success thanks to our speakers and contributors and end users who want to tell their stories about how they use Presto, what they're contributing back to Presto. And our home Bay Area meetup has crossed 1,000 members alone in the last few months. So big shout out to the community. Thank you for your support. We hope to grow this into 10,000 over the next few years. We are also starting global programs, and so already we have a New York, Bangalore, Sydney, London meetup, and those will grow over time. And excited to see this as well as other programs come out of the outreach committee. We're here for you as a community, and let us know what you'd like to hear. One of the things that Girish was talking about is this Presto journey, right? We think we are at phase 3 now with massive replatforming across data platform teams. And we encourage you to participate in the foundation, join the foundation. But a big part of this movement is the adoption of use cases. What we're seeing from users as well as the community is while Presto started off with interactive querying, the list of use cases has expanded over time as more and more capabilities have come on board and have been added to the core project, especially over the last 2 years. And the last year alone, you'll hear from Tim in just a little bit about some of these great new capabilities. I want to take you through the day and tell you about what to look forward to for each of these use cases. As you see interactive query come across in your organization as a platform team, as a platform engineer, and you're looking at supporting your data analysts and your data scientists, interactive querying becomes incredibly important. It's one of the core use cases for Presto. And I'm really looking forward to the Raptor X session today with 10x faster Presto with caching pretty much across every layer of the engine. Another one is reporting and dashboarding. We have end users presenting as well. Carbon will be talking a little bit about how they run real-time customer dashboards, not just internal ones, but actually customer-facing ones. And this is a one to watch as well. Now, many of you know Presto is a federated engine. It connects with many different data sources, databases, data lakes, and streaming engines and more. And there are a few key announcements and new features that we're announcing today at PrestoCon Day. The first one is Presto and Apache Iceberg. This has been a big request from the community. And shout out to Chunzu for pushing the PR out. Looking forward to this getting integrated in. We have BigQuery connector that Roderick from Google and George will talk about. And then in addition to that, we're seeing streaming engines like real-time engines like Pinot, Apache Pinot, work really well with Presto. We have a session on that as well. On the data lakehouse analytics, this is another emerging area where we're seeing a lot more collaboration with the other communities. We'll have a panel on some of this, but a session on Apache Hoodie and Presto at Uber is one that you might be interested if you are thinking about building a lakehouse vision in your enterprise. And then finally, last but not the least, is Presto at scale. There are a lot of internet companies that run Presto today, and there's many more that are considering their next query engine. And there's two key sessions today. One is Presto has historically had a single coordinator, and we have a session today about multiple coordinator support from Swapnil at Facebook. Look forward to that session. And then another one around Presto Gateway Service across clusters, many clusters of Presto deployed at Uber. So it's going to be a great day. Thank you again to our speakers. Great number of CFPs came in, very excited about the program today as well as future programs. And then the last few things, we have two panels. I'll be moderating these, looking forward to phenomenal discussion with folks who know Presto in and out at Presto today and beyond. And then a fun ecosystem panel with really the who's who of the open source space. Looking forward to that as well. And there's two sessions which will start and end the day. At the end, we'll have the vision of Presto at Facebook. Bishop will talk about the state of the union there. And right after this, Tim, hopefully you're getting ready. We have a technical steering committee update from Tim about everything that's been delivered in the last few months, as well as what's coming ahead. So with that, let me go back here, stop sharing, and hand it over back to Tim. Tim, come on on.